pleasure or regret, maybe my treasure or the price I have to pay. She may be the song the summer sings, maybe the chill the autumn brings, maybe 100 different things within the measure of the day. She may be the beauty or the beast, maybe the famine or the feast, may turn each day into a heaven or in hell. She may be the mirror of my dreams, a smile reflected in the stream. She may not be what she may seem inside her shell. She who always seems so happy in the crowd, whose eyes can be so private and so proud, no one's allowed to see them when they cry. She by Elvis Costello, a cover version, that is. It was of course co-written, he wrote the music, and recorded in '74 by Charles Aznavour. Later in '99 Elvis did his cover, which appears on the soundtrack of Notting Hill, the movie, I mean. Now, both arrangements are quite similar, and they're both also in the key of D flat, which is not necessarily a guitar-friendly key. So there are two ways to solve it. Go for the key of C, which is a half step down, capo the guitar on the first fret, and there you have it. This is actually how Elvis does it. Well, he actually does it without a capo, by the way. So really in the key of C, the absolute key, that is. Another way could be, and this is what I prefer by far, is the key of D. And then, if you want to match it, just tune all strings of the guitar a half step down, which I am now actually, and go from there. I was earlier also in the key of D, but with drop D tuning, because I like low D in the bass. You don't necessarily need that low D there if you're doing it without a capo. And I figure most males, and pretty much, well, most males will sing this song, don't want to do it either, because it gets quite high then. So, in short, I'm going to teach you the song in two different keys. Key of D primarily, but also how to play it in the key of C. So not for D, not necessarily drop D tuning. Even though if there are folks out there expressing that they want to learn that too, then well, let me know and I might get to that as well. From there, it is a finger-picking arrangement for most parts, except for when you get to the bridge. That's actually how I would do it. From there, I would start strumming, and for the final verse there as well. Elvis somewhat does a combination of stuff, as picking, strumming, and so on. This is not really based on how he plays it by himself, but more on, well, how I feel the arrangement of the original recordings there. So I will, of course, break down this picking, which is kind of freeform, don't get me wrong. I will show you a couple of different well, example patterns that you can use throughout the first, well, the intro and the first verses there, and you should go from there. I have it in tablature, at least one verse, so you can take a look at how to, well, you can carry it over into the other verse there. As for the strumming, that's really easy. It's just simply this, you know. She always seems so happy in the crowd. Just keep it simple. As for the chords, there are too many to mention, actually, because there are several slash chords. There is a -6, there's a 6, a dominant 7, there's a diminished 7 chord in there, and then when you get to the bridge, all of a sudden you have a whole new set of chords there as well, including several bar chords, especially in the key of C. Like I mentioned, key of D is quite a bit easier if you ask me. Anyway, now, so you can choose whatever you want to do. Go for one key or the other, compare, and so on. Anyway, I break this all down in this lesson, which you can find now in the target program at Total Guitar, so check it out over there.